This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and 17. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love, and love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Makakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, pushing this word with true sincerity, with charity, presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice. We who already live salute you. So I just want to go into this lesson. It's going to be centered around discipline. Okay. Discipline. All right. And the world that we're seeing is highly lacking in that area. All right. This is 2 Ezra 5 and 7. And the Sodomites sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall hear the voice thereof. There shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again. Right? Riots, these things are going to ramp up and are ramping up, right? And more confusion, right? And the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, and salt waters shall be found in the sweet, right? And that's false doctrine. We're seeing a lot of that right now, right? Even Israelite camps, eating pork, man. And all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into its secret chambers, right? Because the Lord is going to cause the famine of the word. All right. So yeah, Alizé, that's going to happen again. And shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth, right? Incontinency. And we're seeing that happen right now. Unbridled lust. People just doing anything that comes to their mind, man. Because these people lack discipline, man. All right. Okay. Let me get another scripture. So yeah, wisdom is started with the fear of the Lord, but it's also the desire of discipline, man. This is Sirach 23 and 2. Who will set scourges over my thoughts, and the discipline of wisdom over my heart, that they spare me not for mine ignorances, and it pass not by my sins, right? So we need this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. As the scripture says, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times, strength of salvation. But this is what gives us those scourges over our thoughts that we have, that we are able to bridle our flesh, man. Okay, that we're just not given. Excuse me. Until we get these new bodies, that we're not given over to this flesh, man. Okay. All right. Matter of fact, let me get another scripture. Right, because I'm also thinking about the scripture where it says that she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, man. It also says it talks about giving a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad, right? It says, lest she destroy herself through overmuch liberty, man. All right. And our whole nation is likened unto a woman, and we've been pretty much given the liberty to destroy ourselves, here in Babylon the Great. All right. They call it freedom, but it's really free doom. It's freedom to destroy yourself. And it's really not freedom. It's really not liberty. Liberty is the ability to do what's right. All right. That's why the scriptures say the liberal soul shall devise liberal things, man. Okay. And the scriptures also talk about he that's able to bridle his flesh is better than one that taketh the city, man. So before because we're looking towards the kingdom, we're looking towards rulership, we're looking towards ruling the world. but we have to be able to bridle our own flesh. Okay, you know, and some brothers are better than that than others. You know, you got to really test yourself and see what's bad for you, and then, as the scripture says, it says, "Prove thy own soul what is evil for thee, and give that not unto it." So once you know what's good for you and what's bad for you, and you just keep the bad things away from you is the best as you can, you know. But the things that are that that you can handle, well, that's your liberty, man, in moderation. But this is Proverbs 5, and um, um, I'll start at 7. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, that her being false doctrines, false philosophies, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. And let strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. And that's exactly where we find ourselves right now, right? And thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof? I have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined mine ear to them that instructed me. So, you know, we don't want to, you don't want to be in that situation, man. You don't want to be on the outside of salvation looking in. All right. So, discipline is very important, man. And in these last days, they're gonna, let me see if I can find this particular scripture. People are gonna come to the realization, mm, people are gonna come to this realization, and they're gonna come to it too late. As the scripture says, many shall seek to enter in and shall not be able. All right, but right, right. I'm gonna start at 27. All right, this is Sirach 23 and 27. And they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of Yahweh, and that there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of Yahweh. And people are gonna learn that in these last days the hard way. Okay, they're gonna wish that they had this discipline while it was being given, man. You know, they're gonna mourn at the last. All right, and like I read, and we're coming into a time, and are in a time where that incontinency is at an all-time high, and especially when, as the scripture says, they shall not regard their princes, in the course of their actions to stand in their own power. When there's no 911 to call, nobody coming to save you, and it's just pretty much all-out chaos in these streets, you're gonna see a lot of incontinency. A lot of these undisciplined people are gonna be they're gonna be unleashed, okay? And they're not gonna bridle their lust. There's not gonna be no one to stop them, okay? And so way not while we're receiving this discipline now, this is the first step to us taking a city, so to speak. This is the first step to us entering into a kingdom, you know, is having that discipline, and desiring it. and also teaching it, being an example of it, Of course, brothers have their liberties, things that they do, um, you know, but you can best believe that if you're going over, because that's the whole idea of circumcision, cutting off that excess flesh, all right? Not so much circumcision physically, but a spiritual circumcision, cutting off that excess flesh, things that are not needed, for salvation. All right. You know, which like I said, men, they have their thing. Everybody has their so-called vices, so to speak. It might be cookies for one person, it might be drinking for another, it might be women for another. Either way, these are the things that we got to tackle. We got to bridle the beast. We have to tackle that motherfucker and put a yoke on him. You know, it's not to say you don't have your liberties. You can't have the little fun that you do have. This is hell, so that does have to be a balance. But you got to know what your balance is. Just like I got to know what my balance is. And I personally believe I'm getting pretty good at that. You know. But yeah, it's a little lesson I wanted to do. Hope it was edifying, and shalom.